What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 teams that may surprise everyone by winning the NBA Championship or by making the final over the Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, everyone thinks it's going to be a Warriors-Cavs final, including me, but in this video I'm just going to be talking about 5 teams that may upset one of them too. First, we've got the most obvious one, and it's the San Antonio Spurs. And the Spurs did lose Tim Duncan, but got Pau Gasol, who from a purely basketball perspective right now was probably a better player than Duncan was last year. Tony Parker's a year older, Ginobili's a year older, but Kawhi Leonard is only going to get better, and LaMarcus Aldridge is still a good player. The slightly worrying thing is the fact that there's trade rumours around LaMarcus Aldridge, but I think that the Spurs are probably the smartest franchise in the NBA, so if they do trade Aldridge, it'll be for a good reason, whether it's chemistry, injuries, or they just don't think he's good enough. But anyway, the San Antonio Spurs are probably the team that has the best chance of beating the Warriors in the West. And I think that if they do end up beating the Warriors in the West, that they will beat the Cavs in the NBA Finals just because of their experience. And I think that, to be honest, the San Antonio Spurs are without doubt the third best team in the NBA. But I can't see them beating the Warriors, but I think they have the best chance of doing it. Next from the Eastern Conference is the Boston Celtics. The Celtics didn't get Durant, which is disappointing for them. And they drafted Jaylen Brown, who I don't really understand where the pick was coming from, but obviously time will tell. But they did get Al Horford in free agency, who's one of the best big men in basketball. He's a really good player, really good team player, and he'll fit in perfectly with the Boston Celtics. They've got Isaiah Thomas, who's getting better year after year. Marcus Smart is starting to play well, and Marcus Smart is actually starting to hit shots, which is a surprise. Avery Bradley is constantly getting better, and players like Olynyk can space the floor. The Boston Celtics are a really good team, and while I don't put them at elite level right yet, they do have the Nets pick next year, and they also have a little bit of cap space and a team that may challenge the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. Next, we have got the Portland Trailblazers. Free agency was not great for Portland. They did get better, but they spent so much money on keeping their players. $118 million for Crabbe and Leonard combined, 2 bench players, and $74 million for Evan Turner and Ezeli. They overpaid for a lot of players, but to be honest, they probably could afford to. Damian Lillard is a superstar and will probably be an MVP candidate this year. CJ McCollum, if he can play as well as he did last year and make as much of an improvement as he did last year, he's going to be serious. The Portland Trailblazers were very good in the Western Conference last year, and to be honest, they're probably going to be better this year. I can see them being the 3rd seed, maybe the 4th seed in the West, and who knows, if Lillard goes off against the Warriors always struggle against the Blazers because they can't contain Lillard, and if he can play like he did last year against them, who knows, they might run the Warriors close. Next, we have got the Toronto Raptors, who I think out of these teams are the least likely to make the NBA Finals. The Toronto Raptors are still a really good team. They've still got a lot of their team from last year, but to be honest, losing Bismack Biyombo is a big deal because he was a great backup for Valanciunas, and I think that Lowry and DeRozan have hit their peak. I can't see either of the two of these guys getting better, but to be honest, if they stay as good as they were last year, the Raptors are going to be a 2nd, 3rd seed in the East. But right now, I don't see them as contenders. They're at the very bottom of this list because they have a slight chance of getting through the East, but I can't see them doing it. I have a feeling that they're going to have another around 55 win season. They had 56 last year. I think they're going to have something similar, but I don't think that they're going to make much noise in the playoffs. He struggled against the Pacers last year, struggled against the Heat, and against the Cavs, apart from the 2 games they won, looked awful. I don't see them as being contenders, but who knows, they might pull off a scalp in the Eastern Conference. And the last team, the team that I think, if everything goes well, they have the best chance of surprising either the Cavs or the Warriors, and it's the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers have Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. Obviously, they lost first round of the playoffs last year, and were 2-0 up against Portland, but they got injuries to Paul and Griffin. They're 2 stars. While I'm not the biggest Blake Griffin fan myself, he still is a great player. DeAndre Jordan was an All-NBA first team player last year, and Austin Rivers is getting consistently better year after year. If everything goes well for the Los Angeles Clippers, they could be pushing for the 2 seed in the Western Conference, and who knows, this might be the first year they actually make the conference finals. Chris Paul is the best point guard in the NBA in my opinion, and if him and Blake Griffin can play well together, who knows, they may make the NBA Finals. I was actually shocked they didn't make the Western Conference Finals at least 2 years ago, and I think they would have given the Warriors a run for their money this year, but I think this is going to be the last year of this Clippers experiment. if they don't win or don't at least make the Western Conference Finals, I think it's time to jump ship and break up the team for that franchise. But at the minute, I can see them as contenders. With the talent on their roster, you can never rule out the Clippers, even though I haven't shown it as of yet. You just can't rule out a team of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Redick. So anyway, that's the video. These are just 5 teams I think may challenge the Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, the Warriors and the Cavs are the 2 favourites. I'm not arguing that, and they will more than likely be the 2 teams in the finals. But these are just 5 teams that may compete with either of them in their conference. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.